The Last Jedi is finally out in cinemas. The film was certainly bold and took a lot of risks, but they largely paid off. While it was a lot to take in, there was likely a lot of information in the background that you didn't have time to register. Thankfully, we got you covered. We'll take a look at all the little details you might have missed in the movie. Seeing as this is Star Wars related, there will be some spoiler talk in here, so you have been warned. Before we count them down, be sure to click on the subscribe button for more awesome videos like this one every single day. Also, can you guess the film based off of these emoji? Stay tuned at the end for the answer.
Even you, Master of the Knights of Ren, have never faced such a test.
Snoke's ring. When Rogue One came out, many fans were left wondering if they'd ever get to see Vader's sweet castle ever again in the sequel trilogy. It felt like it would have been a natural hideout for Snoke and Kylo Ren, but expectations were shattered with this film. But that doesn't mean the castle wasn't in the movie. On the contrary, there was something that tied into the old Sith hideout. You just likely didn't know it, or for that matter, see it. The connection in question actually comes from Snoke's ring. Now, you may not be looking at his hands while he's busy being all creepy and evil, but on his finger is a black ring. As it turns out, this ring isn't some kyber crystal or force gem as some fans have theorized, but a piece of the cave wall from beneath Vader's castle. While the revelation doesn't give us any cool scenes with it, it does tell us that Snoke was privy to the whereabouts of Vader's inner circle and knew where to go to find it. More importantly, he obviously regarded the Sith Lord in high standing if he carried a memento of his fortress on his hand.
This is a ship that made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs.
12!
14.
The dice. One of the more interesting plot devices in the film was the use of Han's old dice. We see them quite a few times in the film, harkening back to both the character and what the spirit of rebellion is. But where did these dice come from? While they were absent from Empire and Return of the Jedi, the dice can be briefly seen in A New Hope. Han has the pair hanging from the top of the cockpit in the Falcon, not unlike what we would use in our own cars. In The Force Awakens, a scene was filmed but ultimately cut where we see Han put them back into place when he has his moment alone in the Falcon. This scene can be watched in the documentary that's included with The Force Awakens Blu-ray. It's a reminder of Han's older days of a smuggler, when working with shady people and gambling was part of who he was. What do you think the odds are we see them again in Solo: A Star Wars Story? We'd say pretty high. Maybe they were a gift given to him by his former mentor, who will be played by Woody Harrelson.
You will remove these restraints and leave this cell with the door open.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
And you'll drop your weapon?
And I'll drop my weapon.
Cameos. It wouldn't be a Star Wars film without a bunch of cameos. There were a slew of cool ones in The Force Awakens, ranging from Kevin Smith, Michael Giacchino, to Daniel Craig. So who showed up this time around to lend their voice to the galaxy far, far away? It's confirmed that Tom Hardy was behind one of the stormtrooper masks towards the end of the film when Finn and Rose were captured and facing execution. Princes Harry and William had also shot stormtrooper scenes, but they were ultimately cut from the film. Joseph Gordon-Levitt made a voice cameo as Slow and Low, an alien at Canto Bight. His name is a play on an old Beastie Boys track titled Slow and Low. Justin Theroux from HBO's The Leftovers made a cameo as the Master Codebreaker. Gareth Edwards, the director of Rogue One, is the Resistance fighter next to the guy who tastes the salt on Crate. And he's the most obvious cameo of the film. Singer Ellie Goulding and Baby Driver director Edgar Wright played Blink and You'll Miss Them Resistance fighters. Mark Hamill actually shows up again as Dabuskay, likely on Canto Bight. And of course, Warwick Davis was in the film. We think as the alien who thought BB-8 was a slot machine.
That place is strong with the dark side of the Force, and you must go.
What's in there?
Only what you take with you.
The book's gone? In the middle of the film, Luke takes it upon himself to destroy the Jedi once and for all. To do this, he decides he must destroy its history and foundation. It's here that Yoda makes his return to the big screen. Yoda, being all-powerful, likely already knew the outcome of events and destroyed the tree that housed the books. You have to be pretty powerful if you can influence the Force from beyond the grave. Luke, thinking that this was a done deal and that there's no going back, accepts the reality of the situation. Only, it wasn't the reality. While Finn was getting a blanket for Rose at the end of the movie, we see him rummaging through the drawers. In one, the texts are stashed away, stolen by Rey before she left Luke. With the film heavily implying that Rey will now become a teacher to a next generation, these texts will certainly serve her well. Maybe the next time we see Rey in Episode 9, she'll be a fully fledged Jedi Master, with a group of new Jedi Padawan under her wing.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Luke's final showdown telegraphed. At the film's climax, Luke Skywalker himself returns to the Resistance. He has a moment with Leia before going out to confront his nephew, Ben Solo. Luke looks drastically different here than in previous shots of the film. Initially, one might think that he just decided to cut his hair before embarking on a mission. But as it turns out, Luke was never there. He projected his image across the galaxy to save the Resistance and inspire them, creating a new legend. But the fact that Luke isn't there becomes more obvious the more you think of it. Although it might not have registered at first, let's not forget that Anakin's saber was destroyed before the confrontation ever happened. So the fact that Luke is suddenly using a blue saber is the first of a few giveaways. Secondly, he never actually comes into contact with Kylo Ren. This is the only saga film so far without a saber-on-saber lightsaber duel. Thirdly though, and this is the coolest, is that Luke's foot doesn't leave a red salt trail on the ground, while Kylo Ren's skidding leaves red streaks across it. It's so quick and subtle that you may not have registered it the first time around.
What is that? I'd like to keep this compass, if you don't mind.
My mission is to destroy this place. Why would I let you do that?
Because I asked.
Trinkets and memorabilia. On Ahch-To, the planet where the island is found, we get to see that Luke has actually been safeguarding the old Jedi texts in his little hideaway. One such item actually calls back to the recent polarizing video game Battlefront 2. In that game's story mode, we get a chapter where we play as none other than Luke Skywalker. In it, he embarks on a mission to destroy the Emperor's observatory on Pilio, but holds on to a compass that he found there. If you look closely, you'll see that Luke still has this trinket in his possession. What does it do? We're not sure yet. Another item you may have not noticed was the red lightsaber crystal. Your first thoughts may be that it was his father's, but thanks to the visual dictionary, we actually know that it was from a Jedi Crusader from way back in the day. In terms of canon, Jedi Crusaders is a new term and we can't wait to learn more about them, especially if it ties into the old expanded universe and its characters.
This is Admiral Radish of the Rebel Alliance. Red and gold squadrons, attack formations, defend the fleet.
Radish. If there's one thing Star Wars fans love, it's their Mon Calamari. Admiral Ackbar goes down as one of the most beloved characters in the franchise, and he really doesn't have to do too much. He's responsible for the famous "It's a Trap" line.
It's a trap!
And he's featured in both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. But another Mon Calamari presence can be felt in the film. In Rogue One, we met Radish, the take-no-crap from no-one admiral who led the rebellion at Scarif. Inspired in part by Winston Churchill, he was a tough-as-nails, ready-to-throw-down leader and is seriously awesome. His aggressive nature didn't sit so well with some members of the rebellion, including Ackbar, but nonetheless his legacy is well known to many as he got things done in the end. As a sign of respect for his fallen comrade, Ackbar decided to name one of the last cruisers to be manufactured after Radish. So even though the ship's name isn't directly referenced in the film, it's nice to see the anthology film's history referenced in a way in the saga films. Which awesome admiral do you prefer more, Ackbar or Radish? Let us know in the comments.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh no.
On a what?
I have a bad feeling about this. When it comes to Star Wars, fans expect certain things to happen in the film. One such thing that always happens in these films is the repeated line, "I have a bad feeling about this."
I got a bad feeling about this.
Since then, it's appeared in every single movie.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Even Rogue One had K2 say it.
I've got a bad feeling about it. Quiet. What?
Well, almost. He was cut off, but it was pretty much all there. But fans were quick to notice that the famous line was absent from The Last Jedi. Or was it? As it turns out, writer-director Rian Johnson did put the line in the movie and he confirmed it to the masses. So where was the line? Although there's no confirmation as of yet, fans think that it likely came from BB-8 early on in the film during Poe's assault against the First Order.
Happy beats here, buddy, come on.
The Last Jedi definitely shook things up, and how it delivered the classic line is no exception.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't sense anything.
And there you have it, everyone. Which tiny detail did you like the most? Did you catch any while you were watching the film on your first viewing? What are your thoughts on the film overall? Also, the answer to the movie emoji quiz is, did you get it right? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one added straight to your playlist. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.